welcome again.
Thank you, good to be here, man.
Sweet. All right, so we all know that you were involved in Lil Kim's Girls Cruise.
Yeah, on VH1.
Right. Tell us a little bit about how that aligned. How did Trini end up on this thing?
On Girls Cruise. It was a very unique story, actually. I have a management team called Perception Management, and they gave me a call and they said, could you receive a WhatsApp call in the next 15 minutes? I was like, cool. From who? And then they were like, it's an American agency, but they can't give out any information. So it turned out that VH1 hired a company called Big Fish Entertainment, which is a production company that does all their production. So Big Fish actually does Black Ink Crew, they do Love and Hip Hop, Cartel Crew, all those TV shows. And Big Fish Entertainment was looking to come to Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados to film Girls Cruise. But they didn't have much of a contact down here. So they reached out to a concierge service online by the name of Dynamic Carnival. So they have a website called www.dynamiccarnival.com. And it turns out that the owner of that website, one of the owners, Amari Shaw, he's actually a good friend of mine. And they reached out to Amari and they told him, well, they needed a couple of things. And one of the things they needed was to cast someone for the fund director role, but they wanted someone from the Caribbean. So he suggested a couple of names, within which one was mine. And they interviewed everyone, and in my interview, so the girl called me on WhatsApp, it was a video call, and she asked me just to like introduce myself, and then she asked me to explain Trinidad's Carnival to her. And when I explained Trinidad's Carnival, she was like blown away. She said after that interview, I made her feel as though she had to come for Carnival. So she's like, we need your personality on this show, and that was it.
Wow, dope. All right, so what were some of your favorite moments during filming?
Favorite moments during filming, I would say episode 4, we had a talent show where the girls put on, like they were paired up and they had to put on a talent show. So remember, it's a show with Lil Kim, Maya, Chili, who are they are big stars, like hip hop and R&B performers. So to see them just like relax and put on a show for fun was like hilarious. It was like real fun to see that. That was a great moment. Another great moment in the show was when they actually came to Trinidad and to see how they enjoyed Trinidad's carnival and how they just loved Trinidad and Tobago on the whole, because they were blown away by Tobago first, because they approached Tobago from the sea. So they saw all the mountains. It was a stark contrast from Barbados, which was like flat. So they loved Tobago, and then Trinidad with the energy, that was like mind-blowing for me. I felt like so proud to be a Trini.
And it must have been interesting seeing Trinidad and Tobago through the lens of foreigners.
Yeah. It was definitely a good experience for me, being like proud to be showcasing my country to them.
Sweet. What would have been some of the more challenging parts of like filming, moving around, all that? And was it at all intimidating?
At first it was, because at first I wasn't used to like reality TV. So all the TV shows I ever did before, it was like scripted, or it was I'm reading from a teleprompter or something like that. So now it's, you wake up in the morning, before you brush your teeth, there's a camera in your face. You go to sleep at night, there's a camera in your face. So it's something you have to get accustomed to, you have to adjust to it, and then you don't have much private moments. So there's a camera on you at all times, you're mic'd up at all times.
Is that reality?
Yeah, it's reality. So you have to kind of be careful with certain things that you're saying and certain things that you're doing, because you're being filmed. But then after a while, it becomes a part of you. So you're always mic'd up. So within a couple of days, you're acting like normal. It's just natural. You forget that the cameras are on you. You forget that you're mic'd up, and you are just free and saying what you want, kind of thing. So that was challenging. And then the other challenging part of it was the long hours. I didn't expect it to be that long. Sometimes we would film for 16 hours for the day. And then another challenge would be something in media that we would call hurry up and wait, where they would be ready to film a scene, and you would have to hurry up and get ready. But then you have to wait because they're not ready, because they're shooting something else, or they're setting up the camera, or they need to get the on-site location. You need to get the jet skis out there. So the coordination of it was difficult. And again, because it's not scripted, it's one where things are on the fly. You can only plan so much for a reality show.
So it's almost like they kind of create a scenario.
Right,
They
right.
can't control everything.
Yeah,
that
they can't
happens.
control everything that happens. So they would say, all right, girls, we're heading out to the Boko Reef, we're going to the Island pool, but they don't know what is going to happen out there. So they can't really plan for it. If it's scripted now, they could put everything in place. So they would say, all right, we're heading to Juve. And that's all they would say, we're heading to Juve. They're not going to know what's going to happen. They don't know who's going to bounce up, who's going to be throwing paint here and there, which camera is going to get hit. So you don't know. They don't know who's going to run off on this side, and then you need to send a camera there with those people because they together and you need to capture that. Yeah, or they on this side. Or
Cool.
And then the other element that was new to me was the security, where I'm not used to having a security detail with me all the time. But when I came off the boat, and the minute I stepped off the boat, I had four security guards with me at all times.
And what was that like? How did that?
Well, first it was like, I was telling them, yo, y'all can relax. Because I'm from here, so there's no need to be so concerned. But then it was kind of cool because like I'm walking through and people like, we're going on room, or you're under witness protection, or you see like CIA, and it was cool because I went to Brian Lara's fete. I had to host that fete, and I came through the crowd and you were just like seeing a full security detail, and they had to like check out anybody that approached me. They had to like pat them, and I was like, no, he's good. So it was cool.
Cool. All right, so today we asked a few questions, right? Well, we put out something on social media asking for people to just ask a couple of questions.
Right.
One question that somebody asked was, Chili or Maya?
Chili or Maya? I would say Chili, because I got that connection with Chili. So for me, honestly, I would say that Maya is more the looker. She's like more physically appealing. She's tall and she's pretty, very pretty. But I more go on a connection, like energies I feel the people. And as I got on that boat, Maya was very, very reserved and kind of to herself, while Chili was more of a warm person. So she came, she hugged everyone, and she was more like outgoing in that aspect of things. So that's why I went the route of Chili. Well, Maya and I were cool, but I got down click with Chili. And she's a pretty girl.
Yeah, she is.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any one thing that was like, that you can say, all right, from this whole experience, I'll definitely remember this?
One thing that jumped out to me in the entire show was the humility of the entire cast. It was one where, when I first stepped out onto the boat, I was a bit starstruck because, I mean, I grew up listening to these girls' music. I mean, you knew Lil Kim as a hip-hop icon, you knew TLC, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, Maya, and all of that. So at first I was a bit starstruck, and then I had to live with them. So their rooms were like right next to mine, a couple doors down, that kind of thing. So after a while, we became like cool, and you realize that they actually are just as normal as we are. Actually, their lives are much more difficult than ours because they are in the limelight all the time. So what was shocking to me and stood out is that they don't have privacy, so they can't just go to the movies or go to the supermarket or do anything like normal people would do. And a lot of them have a lot of insecurities as well, which you're seeing them talk about on the show, is because cameras are on them at all times. They always have paparazzi. People are always in their relationships. So if something happens with them and a boyfriend, it's always under a microscope. So you can't have a private moment. Because when we were out there in Barbados, while we were on the boat, no one knew about the show. But we saw pictures coming in from US paparazzi. Now even Barbados, their paparazzi was US paparazzi in Barbados, capturing pictures of these girls, like in moments where you thought were private. So you would have pictures of them getting out of the water or changing their clothes, and they would have pictures of them. So that's difficult. So that stood out to me, that we see them on TV, we see the glory, but we don't know the story that got them there and that they have to go through on a daily basis.
Wow. All right, so next question. Anybody who follows you on social media, like you'd be posting some sports dating on a Saturday morning. By 3 o'clock, you're hosting a wedding.
Right.
Sunday morning, there's another wedding. Like,
my schedule is crazy.
Yeah, how do you manage? Like, you drink coffee all day, every day? Do you run, yoga, gym?
So I can give you an idea of my day. So my day would start with, so I'm like a real old man at heart. I have a daily plan and everything is written down. So I have to keep a schedule, and then I have a management team. They deal with all of my bookings. So we share a calendar digitally. So on my phone I would see what gigs I have for the weekend. Most of my gigs are on the weekend. Right? So I would see what gigs I have for the weekend, and then during the week I do a radio show on Lime 101.7. So I do the 6 to 9 morning show, and then I would go straight to the gym after that. So for me, keeping fit is what keeps me going. And in the night I would try to get as much sleep as I could during the week, because I know during the weekends it's gonna be tough. So I try to eat healthy. So in the week I don't eat carbs, and on weekend I would take in carbs. And I would drink. So I would drink on week. I'll try not to drink during the week either, and drink only on weekends to try and stay fit and to keep the body going. Because with going out with that pace, I'll get sick easily. It's kind of run down the body.
Cool. All right, and last question. For anybody who, I'd ask you this question, but anybody who trying to do something and they might be a little intimidated, what advice would you give to them?
I would say start with what you have. Start working with what you have. Don't think about you want to be a TV star, but you don't have this, and you don't have the links, and you don't have that, or you can't sing, or whether any field you're into. Start with what you have. I did it with what I had. When I started off in this entertainment industry, it was just me hosting school concerts, hosting church concerts, and that's what I had. That was what I had access to, was to host those events. So whatever you have in whatever field you're into, use what you have, use what resources you have, and start there. The point is to just start. And once you start, you would see you would build a momentum, and every day you just get better and better. And when you're competing, compete with the person that you were yesterday. So for me, with my music, I always try to beat back the music that I did last year. So if I do in Parang, I want to beat the Parang I had last year with this. And I'm not even studying who else in the game but me. I run in my own lane and just beating my time. And that's it. I would just say start with what you have and keep going. And you're going to fail. So I always advise people to fail small. So start with what you have, start small, because you're going to fail. You're definitely going to fail.
Absolutely.
And you're going to fail, so make sure you fail small, dust yourself off, and you go again and fail again until you do succeed. Because there were times where I would go up on a stage to sing and I perform, and people didn't know who I was, they didn't know this, so I get booed on a stage. And that's never a good feeling. But then look where I am now, and then people watch, I reach VH1. So from a stage getting booed to you're on VH1. And it wasn't me just getting booed on a stage and just saying, nah boy, this is not for me, I quit. You have to fail and go again. See why you get booed, restructure, and go again.
What we can look forward to from you next?
Well, right now I'm focused, with the show is wrapping up, and right now I'm looking forward to the Christmas season, because I have a lot of music coming out. So I have like 3 or 4 Parang songs already recorded, 2. I have 2 more to write in this coming week. So I have Parang coming up, and then soca. I have like 3 or 4 more soca songs to drop. So right now is music, and then straight from the Christmas into the carnival season, then I'm heading back to LA, and then I'm going to do some more acting classes and hosting classes, so that when the opportunity does arrive, I will be able to be prepared. You got to be prepared.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because one of the questions they asked when I got interviewed for this show was, do you have abs? Yeah, it's true. It's funny. Nobody knew that. That was the question, and I was like, "What?" Yeah. So it's a good thing I was in the gym, and I could have after they wanted to see it.
Just on the weekend.
Yeah. Because all that's criteria. That's showbiz. That's Hollywood biz. Yeah.
See. All right. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Special thing with us, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me, bro.